Well, two of our wayside wardens are Keith and Jane. Keith, just set the scene. How did you become a wayside warden?
Well, we were members of the Lincolnshire Wildlife Trust, and we used to get the magazine Lapwings, and Jane saw an advert for wayside wardens, and we applied.
Well, we can hear we're on the wayside, beside the road, because it's the Bluestone Heath Road here. So, Jane, what do you do?
Well, the unglamorous bit of it, well, it's all unglamorous actually, but very fulfilling, is picking up litter.
Right.
Which we try not to get angry about. But the main purpose of it, as I understand it, is to just check that the verge is okay and that the health of the verge really, and that the farmer isn't cutting it at the wrong time or whatever, and to record as many of the wildflowers and the grasses that we can see, and the trees and the birds. And I find the only way I can do the birds is through their bird song using an app, because with they don't settle for you. But when we drove over, the first thing we saw was a red kite in the air.
How fantastic. It's a lovely spot. I was watching a kestrel a little while ago, just hovering there, getting ready to go down, perhaps catch something. But this is part of it, getting out and about. Is that what you enjoy most about
Absolutely, because we're between Rookland over there, and then our footpath goes through our verge all the way over to Tetford, so it's one of the most beautiful parts of the Wold.
Not a very nice morning to be out and about. We've had some rain. There's a break in the rain at the moment, but you've been busy because you've cleared one of the signs that people might see.
Yes, and I have to cut that back, so making sure that people actually recognise the fact that it's protected site, and it's about a quarter of a mile along the Bluestone Heath Road, an old drover's ancient Britain trackway, and so that's what's interesting as well. We love the fact that it's a ridge here, and also down below there was an old salt road from the coast all the way through to Tetford.
Salt road as in bringing the salt inland?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. So it's so you actually, if you go into the Tetford church graveyard, that's where the Roman road used to go through.
Wow, yeah, I'm just looking down at the sign now, protected roadside verge.
Yes.
So somebody driving along the Bluestone Heath Road here would see this as quite overgrown, lots of tall grass going to seed, but that's the idea, isn't it?
Absolutely, and this grass where we are at the moment hides what will be lots and lots of pyramidal orchids in about 2 weeks' time. Last year we had about 190 of them. And before that, there were about 100 cowslips. So we have flowers at different times of the year.
I notice you just said around 190. You know exactly how many there were. How many were there?
There were 189 on this side, and there were 20 on the other side. And then we also had 2 bee orchids, and I think about 10 common spotted orchids.
And it's important to keep those records, isn't it?
Absolutely, because sometimes, in fact, actually last year we had more than we've ever had.
Brilliant. You were just taking a photograph, Jane, because when you visit the area here, you're looking for things that perhaps you haven't seen before.
Well, things I haven't seen before, things I've forgotten the name of, which happens all the time. There's one just beneath us, which is one of my favourites, and I've forgotten what it's called. Can I, that one, Keith?
Oh, do we know what that is?
It's not quite open.
I tell you what.
I thought that was goat's beard.
No, not goat's beard.
It is goat's beard.
Oh.
Is it? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get another expert. Is this goat's beard down here? Could you come and confirm?
It's a Tragopogon.
You
Come and tell me what you think it is.
Libby does the Latin.
It's a Tragopogon.
Is it?
Tragopogon.
What would I know it as?
I believe that's a goat's beard.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, there we go. Goat's beard all round. Well, I tell you what, we're going to take some photographs of
There's
it.
one behind you that's slightly
How
more out.
fantastic.
They're really lovely.
So just having a look round here, things that I recognise before the tractor appears. We've got cow parsley, is that what it is commonly known as?
Absolutely, and we've got red campion, we've got oreganum here, and then clover, lots and lots of bird's foot trefoil, and we have...
Further along there's a lot of yellow rattle, which is absolutely vital to an environment, any kind of meadow environment, which this is a kind of meadow, because the yellow rattle is parasitical.
Right.
And so it suppresses some of the grasses and allows the wildflowers to come through.
So yellow rattle is good.
Yeah.
It says it's very, very good, yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a really pretty
Yeah.
flower, I think.
Now, it's important that we let this seed, isn't it, as well?
Absolutely,
Because, you know, that then puts the seed back into the ground, producing more plants another year. But it's then harvested as a hay, isn't it?
It is, and the farmer cuts it at the end of July to make sure that the seed is actually sort of spread. And so he will harvest it just as he's done. He cuts across the other side, but yes, this is late July.
And just to say, Matthew was saying how important it is that once the hay, as it were, has had a chance to dry out, you know, a week or so, you need to remove it so that the nutrients aren't going back into the soil, because the wildflowers like it a fairly unnutriented soil. What's the word?
Is that like a poorer soil to grow in,
Yes,
I suppose?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. When will we start to see signs of the orchids then?
I would think about 2 weeks. They will be a little bit later this year because of the cold. And it's amazing how quickly they do actually appear. So we come every sort of probably 3 or 4 weeks just to do the litter picking, and then we notice all the differences. But 2 weeks, I would say.
Okay. And this is quite a stretch we've got here, isn't it? It's quite a long distance of protected verge.
It is, and it's about a quarter of a mile long. And the difficulty is sometimes that we do get a lot of traffic, and some of the big lorries actually sort of like just affect the edge of it. But we just have to put up with that because, as you notice, there is quite a lot of traffic here.
But it is a fantastic spot to come out and help, isn't it?
Yes, it's beautiful, and you always feel better for doing it, and have a little bit of exercise and lots of fresh air. Yeah, so it's great.